what happens when the DM inserts current events into D&D. Let me describe the situation. I've been playing with this group for about 3 years now, and from the beginning we knew we had political differences. 2 of the other players and I are fairly left-leaning to decently far-left liberals. One of the players is conservative, but only a little, and the DM is a far right-wing conservative. He has said in all seriousness that Donald Trump should be president for life because he's that great. However, like any group of adults, we realized early on that no one in our group would change the other's minds, and so we just moved on and decided to leave politics out of D&D, as it should be. That lasted until our session on the 10th. The campaign we're currently going through has lasted for about a year and a half or so, and it's been one of the best D&D campaigns I've ever played in. I'll spare the details, but essentially the goal has been to find my character's 4 siblings. All 5 of us are Genasi, so that we can get their help to overthrow our father, a Jinn who has taken control of the elemental plane of air, and created us to be living weapons for him. Luckily for us, some Arakara on the airplane rescued us from him when we were kids and hid us in various places on the material plane for the last 16 years. We started off with me hiring the other players to help me find my siblings. And each time we've convinced one to join us, the DM has allowed one of the players to take control of the sibling as their new character if they prefer the new sibling to their original character. It's been a lot of fun, and he's made a really vivid and unique world, which is why the session on the 10th stunk so much. At this point, we had convinced 3 of my 4 siblings to join us, and we had figured out where my last brother was. We figured we would have a really hard time convincing Thyrin, the brother, to come with us, since he had apparently gotten married and had a child in his time on the material plane. He was the oldest brother and was 29 by the time we found him. Not to worry, we all said. We've convinced 3 of my siblings to leave their lives behind for the sake of a greater cause. We can do it one more time. No problem. We arrive in Hardale, the city where Thyrin is living, and immediately we can tell that the DM has rewritten this section of the adventure since January 6th. Instead of finding Thyrin spending time with his family, or at work, or doing anything normal, when we get there, we find out that he is preparing to lead a coup of the government. Interesting, but okay, let's roll with it. He's got that revolutionary spirit in mind already, and I guess we're pretty much trying to do the same thing, but on a different plane, so no big deal. We ask him what's going on, and he explains that the current president is the best leader Hardale has ever had. He's put up walls to keep the city safe, and he's kicked out all the evil tieflings, drow, and goblins out. Because they're all evil. Everyone loves him. And when the election came, every single person in the city voted for him because he's just that awesome. But, oh no, the evil other party cheated. They changed the vote count and made it seem like President Awesome McRacist faced loss. How horrible. If their candidate becomes president, he's going to take away every sword, bow, and magic user in the city. He'll knock down the wall. He'll let the drow, goblins, and tieflings back in. This is unacceptable. So basically, the DM proceeds to try to railroad us into participating in this coup. Thyrin won't come with us to go deal with the Jinn no matter what we say, unless we help him make sure that President Awesome McRacist is president forever and helps exile or kill anyone who disagrees because they're obviously evil. And that's where we all collectively took a deep breath, packed up our dice and character sheets, and left. Now, I understand having strong feelings about politics. I myself have very strong feelings about the current political climate, which probably leaked through into this post, but I hope they didn't because of what I'm about to say. But no matter what you believe, you should not bring real-life politics into a D&D game unless every single person at the table says they're okay with it. The DM knew for a fact that the 4 of us players did not want to discuss politics at all, and yet, this happened. D&D is supposed to be an escape from the worries and struggles of the real world, so whatever you do not carry those worries over into D&D. Shame too. Up until that session, it had genuinely been the best campaign I've ever had the pleasure of participating in by far. There are 2 main topics that you don't bring up in public: religion and politics. As human beings, we have different experiences which lead us to different ideologies. These are normally ingrained into our psyche, and therefore it is usually difficult to change one's minds regarding such deeply ingrained ideals. One should not try to use a game of escape to enforce reality. Plain and simple. What do you all think about this situation? And please keep it civil.